Okay, so we got a treat for all of you guys. You know how we like wraps?
We love our CCP wraps. So let me set this one up.
Yeah.
So we found another one. You guys might think...
This one's pretty old, though.
Yeah, so...
I remember it from back in the
day. The thing is, we thought we'd covered everything.
Yes.
And for some reason, there was something sitting in the back of my head, so I'm looking up CCP wraps. I'm like, certainly we've used them all up at this point. We have to wait for new ones to come out.
Oh, and there was another new one, which we'll bring out next time, yeah.
And so I'm like, holy shit, we forgot about Sugachuan Mian.
Yeah.
So the Sugachuan Mian is the 4 comprehensives.
Yes.
Which is...
Sugachuan Mian.
Sugachuan Mian.
Yeah.
Sugachuan Mian. Yeah. So Sugachuan Mian is the 4 comprehensive of Xi Jinping.
Right.
And what those are his 4 principles that he puts out there, and people have to memorize.
Why does it always keep changing the number? Because it's like the 13 thoughts or what the core socialist values.
Because they're all different. But they're all the same.
There's always a number attached to it.
So the 4 comprehensives are number 1.
Mm-hmm.
This is Xi Jinping thought, by the way. I'm starting to become fluent in Xi Jinping thought. I'm quite the scholar. To build, what I'm learning, by the way, with Xi Jinping thought is everything is an oxymoron.
Mm-hmm.
It's establishing ownership over a principle when you don't actually do it. That's what Xi Jinping thought is, like democracy.
I think it's just whatever he makes up.
Well, I think it's saying what you're supposed to do as a nation, but then not doing it because you already said it. That's good enough.
You just say it. Then you're done.
Then you're done.
Okay.
Now, the first of the Sugachuan Mian, the 4 comprehensives are, God, that I can't get it out of my head.
I know. You'll hear it.
Build a moderately prosperous society, and you would be able to back me up on this. Was absolutely the most popular phrase from Xi Jinping.
Yes.
Moderate prosperity.
Yeah, moderate prosperity. Yes.
Which was a flip side of Deng Xiaoping, who said what?
He said to become wealthy is glorious.
Right.
Yeah.
So the flip side of that was the return to socialism, the return to communism. And that's what Xi Jinping is. He's a reformer. He's not pro-market. He's pro-state. So I think about...
He's a deformer.
Yeah. He's the opposite of someone like Gorbachev, right? Gorbachev was fairly pro-market and wanted to open up Soviet society. Didn't want to get rid of the Soviet Union.
Sure.
But wanted to open up Soviet society. Xi Jinping, imagine him as anti-Gorbachev. He wants to go back to Stalinism.
Yes.
Right. So number 2 of his Sugachuan Mian, of the 4 comprehensives. It sounds weird to say in English, 4 comprehensives.
4 comprehensives.
Number 2 is to deepen reform. So again, to really just uproot.
In other words, just go back.
Go backwards.
It's not reforming, it's deforming. Yeah.
I like that.
It's true.
Deepen, deform.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Number 3 is to govern the nation according to law.
Okay.
So it's rule of law.
Which doesn't exist in China.
You heard what I said, right?
Yeah.
It's just establishing what you think is supposed to be there, but not doing it.
Imagine you say there's a law, but the law is whatever I decide right.
Correct. Can you give an example? There is no rule of... I think a lot of people are sometimes confused. They're like, what is rule of law? Can you explain why China doesn't have rule of law?
Well, it's very simple. Okay, if you were to break a law, for instance, in the West, let's say you, jaywalk over the road, right? And there's a police officer there and he sees you jaywalking over the road. He will write you a ticket and then you can then dispute it. You can go to court. There's proper procedure. And, you can either pay your fine or you can get it thrown out or whatever. But there's a procedure. In China, it's really official discretion. I mean, if a guy sees you jaywalking, he can either ignore it or he can go up to you and give you a warning. But most of the time it's just ignored. But let's say someone doesn't like you. And they see you jaywalking, then they can, first of all, give you a ticket for jaywalking, but they could also accuse you of disrupting the harmony of society and lock you away in a jail for 15 years or for the rest of your life. There is no rule of law. There's no way to fight against it either.
That's a great example. And that's a very, it's a realistic example. It gets more sinister at the higher levels. And I've told this before, but I was in the back seat of a government official car.
Yes.
And it was because I was with relatives that were going to... It was like an unofficial meeting. They were going out to the countryside. They would always go to Shunliao.
Yeah, I know Shunliao, yeah.
And they'd go out there and they'd go have some seafood, right? Yeah. Now, in the back of this car, they'd be racing through these country roads. And I'm not talking about the highway. I'm talking about these tiny... tiny ones. There's no shoulder.
Yeah.
And there's these peasants on the side pulling carts. those, we call them, they bend over, those old ladies, because their back's all deformed because they carry rice.
Yeah, and they're carrying all those,
And they got these old uncles, skinny as can be with their hose, going out to the rice fields.
Going out
not the
skinny uncle with his hose, man. You know what I'm saying?
Skinny uncle with his hose.
Yeah.
Skinny uncles with their rakes, to go separate wheat from whatever. Not wheat, rice. Anyway, long story short, we were in an Audi S6.
Yeah.
Right?
Black.
A6, sorry. A6.
Black, yeah.
So, but it was a long wheelbase one.
Sure.
Small
China
motor.
Only, China market only,
yes.
yeah.
Small motor. Nothing fast or anything. But they were whipping down these roads. And the peasants were nearly getting hit. They'd have to sometimes literally leap
get
off
off
the
the road. Yeah.
And when I asked why we're going so fast, they laughed and said it didn't matter. And I kid you not. I can't give you a completely direct quote because this is like a roundabout way of saying this. But the ultimate conclusion was, if they hit anyone, they wouldn't be liable for anything. And it was worth it wasn't worth their time to slow down because those people don't matter. And they actually laughed about it, right? Sure. And the reason that I bring this up as an example of there's no rule of law, those people don't have any recourse, right? No. If I'm a rich guy in the U.S. and I run over a homeless person, that person can F my life up forever.
You will go to jail.
I will, because that's the law.
Yes.
That's what rule of law means.
Yes.
In China, it's on paper, but if you're a CCP official or you have connections, you can get away with murder.
Absolutely, you can.
And it happens often.
Yep.
Right? So if you're a guy that was a CCP guy that was caught for drug trafficking, not him himself. Mm-hmm. He had like an operation. He got caught, and then they kind of decided, okay, well, I have enough connections with the local judge and like all the people involved, so we're going to make this like it never happened. Yeah. And he got away completely scot-free. Sure. Whereas if you were a person that was slightly below him, you'd get your head cut off.
For sure.
Right.
It's always how it works. It's unfortunate. I've witnessed it a lot myself.
Right.
Because whenever you meet people and they try to brag, they always tell you about their stories about how, their guanxi, their connections, and how they got out of this or how they got everyone else out of that too. They brag this way. And I remember in Shenzhen, there was this particularly awful car accident where a guy was driving an illegal GTR and he crashed into a taxi, and the occupants of the taxi died because it was one of those BYD electric taxis and it just burst into flames. He ran away from the scene of the accident he had like two girls in the back or whatever. And then the guy who turned himself in and said he was driving was just completely nothing wrong with him, but he was like basically a peasant who could never have afforded that car. And this is what happens is they'll pay someone to take the rap. Obviously, it wasn't him driving the GTR. They'll pay that person to take the fall, go to jail and everything. They'll give him enough money to give his family, and he's willing to do that.
Because his family's so poor.
Yeah.
He goes to jail forever.
Yeah, he goes to jail, but the people who actually did it just get off scot-free.
I'm saying, but his family gets a ton of money, so he doesn't have to worry about his family. He's a good husband at that point.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
But he goes to jail, he takes a punishment.
Right.
That kind of thing happens. But yeah, when it comes to actual rule of law in China, it's so flexible and it's so gray area. You either get away with everything or you get the book thrown at you for nothing. It's a very, very weird system.
It is.
So everywhere else in the world that I've lived, there's certain levels of corruption everywhere and bribery and all that kind of stuff. But if you make a stink about it here, in America, for instance, and you go to the court, you can, no matter what happens, you're arrested for whatever, you can go to the court.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, at least have that chance to fight and to get the media on your side or the people on your side or the jury or whatever. You have that chance. Not in China.
No.
It's a 99% conviction rate. Anyway. Let's get on to this.
So the fourth Sigachuanmian, the fourth Chuanmian, the fourth comprehensive,
yes,
is tighten party discipline. So that means to basically get rid of the corrupt CCP officials.
Yeah, get rid of what we've been talking about now, which is impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so they made a rap.
They made a rap. We're going to show it to you guys. Let's lighten the mood.
And I have to tell you, they made it in 8 languages in one song.
Yes.
There's subtitles. We're just going to play it all the way through and then we'll critique it.
Yeah, so I guess we're going to get out of here so you can read the subtitles. Let's hit it.
1 just a point, 2 can form a line, 3 become a plane, 4 will be just fine.
무슨 랩 부르는데요?
4개全面 들어봤니?
아, 좀 궁금해 할 거예요.
하하, 내 노래를 들어보렴.
Follow me, 4개全面, prosperity. Follow me, 4개全面, M-Rule. Follow me, 4개全面, party feeling the key. Follow me, 4개全面, reform for your own.
société dans ce moyen n'a beau chagrin. Assez de pain et d'argent, on n'a plus de chagrin. Au du monde un tort et de feu con univers, un environnement sain, ce modo disparaître.
Las cosas no es fácil de cambiar, escuelas en peleos, bienestar social, de todo puedes disfrutar, del campo a la ciudad esto no se puede parar, cortar la burocracia, deja el sistema circular.
1 just a point, 2 can form a line, 3 become a plane, 4 will be just fine. Prosperity and rule of law, party building the key, reform for your own.
特别重要的话咱得说4遍，4个全面。特别重要的话咱得说4遍，4个全面。
Follow me 4个全面，4个全面 ，prosperity。Follow me 4个全面，4个全面 ，and rule of law。Follow me 4个全面，4个全面，party building the key。Follow me 4个全面，4个全面 reform for your own。
دولة يحكمها القانون غيره مشي يكون قانون نحترم نلتزم بيه وعد في يوم تتنام ربي لعبة بالقانون مش هيفيد عملت مصيبة حامل اجي كلنا اسوياء قدام القانون لف دارك مين العقاب هيكون
Лишь следуя партийной дисциплине, сетями мухалвим, загоним тигров в клетке. Подругов с партии коррупцию осилим, таком лишь вожатому мы крикнем право.
1 just a point, 2 can form a line, 3 become a plane, 4 will be just fine. Prosperity and rule of law, party building the key, reform for your own.
特别重要的话咱得说4遍，4个全面。特别重要的话咱得说4遍，4个全面。
Follow me 4个全面，4个全面 ，prosperity。Follow me 4个全面，4个全面 ，and rule of law。Follow me 4个全面，4个全面 ，party building the key。Follow me 4个全面，4个全面 reform for your own。Follow me 4个全面，4个全面。
Yeah, it's. Have you noticed how her mouth is moving, but you don't hear? It's only him rapping.
It's only him.
Yeah.
This dude. Now, understand 4. So they say 4is 4. So they say 4 times.
Yes.
And it's not good for us.
No.
That follows us everywhere.
Yeah. By the way, this part where it says like, let's get to where is it?
Вожатому мы крикнем право.
1 just a point, 2 can form a line, 3 become a plane.
What 3 become a plane?
Yeah, like a plane. Like a
Isn't
plane.
it like flying plane?
No.
Oh, become a plane.
Yeah.
But wait, what kind of plane? P-L-A-N-E.
Like a plane. Yeah.
No, that's P-L-A-I-N, isn't it?
No.
No, plane. A plane is like a tool you use to like
Yeah, and it's also
Do
like
wood.
a
plane.
surface.
The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane.
Right. So he says 1 can form a point, 2 can form a line,
Okay.
3 can form a plane.
Oh, I see. Like that,
4
like a
will
plane
be-
of existence.
Yes, correct.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right, that kind of plane.
Just
It
making
wasn't.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't see
Will be
the.
just fine. Prosperity.
Yeah, okay, never mind. All
四个
right.
全面，四个全面。So yeah, the reason I wanted to bring this one up is this. Why does this exist?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, it's not a very happy-go-lucky thing to sing
I
about.
love the lol.
Yeah, lol.
Why are they
Lol, lol, lol.
lolling?
This, by the way, you know, if you've ever tried to watch a TV show or something on the Chinese internet using a Chinese streaming service, this crap that flies across the screen, they call them wild subtitles. And it's just people basically commenting on the video, and it all just comes on the screen at the same time.
Way worse than
drives
this.
me nuts. My
Yeah.
wife watches something, and all I see is this text. And I'm like, how could you even pay attention to the show? 'Cause
They'd
all
rather be told how to react.
it seems that way. I don't know what the deal is, but
I don't get it. What is
yeah.
it called? And what was burst? Burst. That's
Yeah,
what it's
what-
called.
yeah.
You could turn burst on. And
yeah,
off.
yeah, wild subtitles.
So anyway, I just want to ask you, why does it okay? 四个全面 is the Xi Jinping 4 comprehensive principles,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Why does anyone need to know about that?
No,
No one gives a shit.
no.
This shows you how tone deaf the CCP is. They get a budget for something. They probably got tons of money
In
to do
terms
this.
of and in different languages
Yeah.
too. Like why? Why do we need to hear your stupid like domestic propaganda crap? You know?
But nobody's gonna watch this.
No, and I mean, look, they've got the communist flag in the background.
Yeah,
see?
yeah, I see
with
that,
a
yeah.
UFO
And a tiger in a cage.
and a monkey.
What? What is going on?
Couple of monkeys over there. There's
What
a
that's that existence for the tiger is quite apt for China. They killed all the tigers there.
yes, unfortunately, Chen Mian, you know. Oh yeah, it's kind of cringe. Anyway, there you get your CCP rap fix from us once again.
I just don't know why they made that.
Now you're gonna have the Sigachuan men in your head for the rest of the day. Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Well, you'll remember what the Sigachuan men are now. You got Winston here. How you feeling, buddy? Today we're talking about the face filter apocalypse. Bloop, 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 bloop. Is this blackface?
She had bad teeth, tobacco-stained teeth. She had a big square face.
What's wrong with a square face, Winston?
And I think that's the worst part of these face filters, is that they are a lie. It's not reality.
I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked